Well, good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk a little about the 30 days of simple $3-ish meals. Now, when I quote a price, that's going to be regional. Everybody is different. But I'm going to be quoting some different recipes and also show you video clips of the food that I have made in the last couple weeks. And we will talk a little bit more about the food and how can we cook if we're going to intentionally live this way and intentionally not spend money when the food prices are rising drastically. So let's get into it. I wrote down 30 different meals. Now, some of these you may not like, and you're going to be seeing some things that are going to repeat themselves. So you're going to be seeing a lot of eggs, a lot of rice, a lot of potatoes, and you're going to be seeing some pasta in that. Now, we have the typical recipes, beans and rice, rice and beans, beans and rice. You have millions of channels that are talking about that all the time. But for me, I am able to do all this, yes, because I still have a lot of food. Yes. I have a lot of food because I'm growing a lot of my food as well. I had some new viewers on my channel and they said, "Where are you at with that garden?" And I'm like, "It's mine. It's my garden." So these people don't know about my life and what I like to do in the summertime. All right, let's go with fried egg with rice, soy sauce, and frozen vegetables. That is a wonderful way to have a breakfast or a brunch. Now for me, when I make rice, I will make my rice with frozen vegetables in the rice cooker. It all cooks together and it cooks quickly, about 20 minutes. And I will add that then to beans, or I add beans to it as well. The rice cooker doesn't just cook rice. You can throw it all in together and it is an amazing meal. Peanut butter and oatmeal. We have pasta, spaghetti, garlic bread, beans and salsa and rice. And then we have tuna salad, and we have potatoes and onions and eggs. And there's hundreds of ways that you can make potatoes and eggs and skillet fry them and put them in a casserole. There's hundreds of ways that you can do that. Grilled cheese and tomato sandwiches. I remember my mom would make grilled cheese and tomato sandwiches, and that was our meal. Baked potatoes is a big one. You can have baked potatoes and put beans on top of it so you have the protein. You don't always need meat. And that is something, especially Americans, they feel like they have to have meat at every meal. We only eat meat about 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. And we don't eat a lot of meat. Of course, you have chicken. You have chicken drumsticks. Now, that can really vary on price. So one week you might have the chicken drumsticks a lot cheaper than the chicken quarters. You just got to keep an eye out. And if you get a sale, get enough to last you a couple weeks to put in the freezer. I recently did a chicken crock pot meal and it was absolutely delicious. It was a freezer meal and it was Hawaiian chicken and it was very reasonable to make. It was a $3-ish meal. Scrambled eggs, macaroni and cheese. Now I love macaroni and cheese, and you can buy it in the box or you can make your own, and making your own can be very frugal. And I love doing that. Then I'll add maybe some chicken with it. Sometimes I add some turkey, sometimes I add ground beef, and I kind of make it into like a macaroni and cheese goulash. Cornbread and beans. I'm not a big cornbread eater. I am from the north. Northern people eat cornbread, but I'm not a big cornbread eater. But we do have cornbread once in a while, and we have it with beans. Vegetable stir fries is a really good one. I do make a lot of them. Homemade pizzas, homemade spaghetti, homemade pasta salads. Now, these are meals if you're not on a dietary restriction. That really changes everything. My husband and I and our family, none of us are on any kind of dietary restrictions. So there's where it plays into an extremely hard thing to deal with. If you have to have a dietary, in other words, if you can't have certain foods, that is totally makes things harder. But you have to learn your body and what you can do, and you have to work around that. I am very blessed to be able to eat anything I desire. Desserts. We don't eat many desserts. We may eat a little bit of pieces of cheese and pretzels at night. We will eat cottage cheese with a little bit of jam and jelly, or with some apple butter. We also like yogurt in the evening with a banana. Those are our desserts. We don't eat a lot of cakes and cookies and pies. If we do have cookies, I just recently did an amazing thing where I make cookies and I freeze the dough in little balls. And then if we want a cookie, I will make 2 at a time. It's amazing. That way you don't have dozens of cookies sitting around and, you know, temptation. I just recently made some Rice Krispies treats because I had all of that. And my mom used to make them and she made them and froze them. So I'm going to be doing that with the leftover Rice Krispies if I don't give it to our granddaughters. Just the other day I made some monkey bread and it was absolutely delicious. But I had a piece of it, but I gave it to our granddaughters. They sat and ate it. Their whole family ate it in one sitting. So sometimes I do like to bake because I'm hungry for something sweet, but then I'll either put it in the freezer in little bite-sized portions or I will give it to our children. There are so many things that you can do to save money. For me, we have deer meat. Now, my husband did not get a deer this year, but our son-in-law did. And so our whole family likes to hunt. My granddaughters hunt, my husband hunts, my son-in-law hunts. And so we use deer meat, which is basically almost free because he cuts it off the bone and then he freezes a lot of it. Do a lot of videos on making homemade bread, and you know, I'm getting more and more into making my own homemade products. Now, I don't make my own cottage cheese or anything like that. My husband is a little bit leery of all of that. And so I really not got into that. Now my daughters make sourdough and they love it. I'm still working on the sourdough situation with me. For some reason it gets sour smelling, which maybe it's supposed to, but it seems like it's not quite right. Women, they call them crunchy, that, you know, everything has to be whole foods. Now my daughters are that way, but I'm not quite like that. But I don't buy a lot of heavy laden ingredients that are really bad for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and work on some lunch today, and I'm gonna show you my lunch. I was able to get really frugal, some organic chicken, and I'm gonna make my rice, and I'm gonna make all of that. And I thank you guys so much for enjoying these videos. If you have some suggestions of what you want me to talk about or what you want to see on my channel, I'm up for suggestions. You can always email me. My email is under every video, or you can just give me a comment. What is your most frugal meal and why do you like it so much? I don't like spending a lot of time in the kitchen. I'd rather do other things. So the rice cooker is amazing. I add the rice and I add the frozen vegetable. I turn it on and it's done in 20 minutes. Now I'm just waiting for the rice to get done. That usually takes about 20-25 minutes. But the chicken is already done. I'm gonna go ahead and eat the chicken, and then I'll show you what the rice looks like. So what we like to do is we eat our rice with homemade salsa. This is pineapple salsa, some sour cream, and some sharp cheese, cheddar cheese. Or we like to also have a rice with some sweet and sour soy sauce or teriyaki sauce, depending on what mood we are in. But today we're going to go a little bit on the Mexican side of the rice, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. There's just a few appliances that I could never live without. I think I can't anyhow, and that is the rice cooker is one of them, my bread machine, just a few things, and my slow cookers. Boy, they sure do make life easy.
been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
Do 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 do. Hey, wait a minute. Check out the video that correlates with this video. It might have been one from 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or just about yesterday. Take a look. Don't miss it. It's in the description box and under here in an iCard, depending on your device. See you guys again.